Hey everyone, I'm Jack131. Today I'm doing a series talk on a series called One Punch Man. Now, it's a series that came out last year, and I was very excited when I heard that was coming out. I heard really good things about it, and I thought it should be good. And in this video, I'm going to go through what I thought were good points and bad points about the series, and then give my personal opinion of if I thought it was a good series or a bad series. Anyway, let's get to it. I'll start with the good points. So, it had a really good art style and a nice animation quality. And to me, those two are very different things. Art style is just how things are drawn, and animation is how things move. Another good thing is that it had impressive fight scenes, and that goes with the animation. They did a really good job of those fight scenes. It was also a very funny series. If you've seen it, you know what I'm on about. If not, you need to get watching. It is funny. It's not the funniest series I've watched, but it is funny. Okay? Had interesting character personalities, and I don't think there was any character that had similar personality traits as another character, especially for the hero side of it. The villain monster side, yeah, maybe, but the hero side, I reckon that 1 out of 100, like, you probably get that one person that has a similar personality trait as another character does. Another good point is that the character's abilities were very varied. It was pretty much like getting asked, if you could have one superpower, what would you want? And instead of picking one, you pick every goddamn thing that you can currently think of, and then you go have a drink, and then you think of more. That's how it looked, and it was good because there was some characters, I've read the manga, some characters have the same or similar powers, but they aren't shown as much, and most of the characters had a different power or ability than another character. Also, what it set out to do, which is making fun of series like One Piece and Dragon Ball, which will take probably like making it seem worse than what it is. Take, let's say, 10-20 episodes to defeat one villain. Of course, One Piece lately, yeah, it's taken about 20 odd episodes, if not more, to defeat one villain. Did you see the Dressrosa arc? It took forever to defeat Doflamingo. But that leads me to the bad points. I reckon that with what it did, like what it set out to do, which is basically the main character Saitama can defeat pretty much anyone with one punch. Fact. Some villains he had to get more serious for. Some villains he got serious for no reason. But the bad points start with, I reckon it did too good of a job of what it set out to do. It's one of those things that when you do something too perfectly and you don't think that you've learned anything from it, it's just one of those things that it's, with what it set out to do, it did it perfectly, and I reckon that there is a major flaw. Another thing is, and that goes with that it did what it set out to do too quickly, is that the fights ended very fast. Very, very fast. It's pretty much enemy will beat usually Genos or another or a side character around a lot. Saitama, the main character, shows up and defeats the villain with one punch. Yeah, it was very predictable. There's only probably 2 villains where they've took more than 8 episodes to get rid of. And those were episodes I'm like, oh yes, 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 cliffhanger. Instead of it being ended in 8 episodes. Which was alright for the first couple of episodes, but it just got really predictable really, really quickly. I also think that there is no story, or there is a very little story, and that goes with the story goes, well, not story, but as a series that moves very, very fast. And I personally believe that if the character Genos were to be taken out, the story would go with it. Because Saitama doesn't really have much of a story other than he just wants to defeat all the monsters. Without Genos, who said that Saitama should join a hero association and do some of the stuff, there wouldn't be much of a story. Yes, some things would have still happened similar, but I don't see how it would have completely been the same. Like without Genos, Saitama would have joined the Hero Association, and you wouldn't have had that episode of Saitama freaking out because he hasn't defeated any criminals recently. Yeah. Also, there is, in my opinion, very little character development, and that's because that they really throw characters at you because of how quickly because of how quickly everything moves. There isn't any room for character development. Yes, we did have that little prelude thing of when Saitama decided to be a hero, but that was pretty much it. There's a little bit of Genos, and a little bit of that cycling guy, who isn't a major character, but other than that, nothing really. Also, as a series, I felt that, in compared to some other anime series, had little emotion, and that's because it had no story. And what I mean is, like, there's none of those feels. It didn't have a lot of feelings. Like, ooh, that's an impressive punch. Wow. Okay. And I also felt that the villains were I felt weak to begin with. It did feel weak to begin with. Some were like, okay, this might be promising, but then total flop. Also, they did it a little bit of put Genos or another side character fighting the major bad guy of the episode, and they'd get their asses whooped. Then Saitama would show up, think that, yeah, I've given Genos a beating, I might have to get somewhat serious here, and he still wins with one punch. Like, plot armor at its best. Also, and one thing that I've found, and I found it right at the start of when I heard it was coming out, my opinion had a lot of hype. Had a lot of hype before it started, and during its the time that it was aired, the season, had a lot of hype. I don't think it needed that hype. I think that hype not as much diminished it as what it was, but it's one of those expectations because of hype versus reality. Anyway, so as that's all the good and bad points. Me personally, I thought that it had good moments. The start of the series was good when I was watching it, but as a whole, I think that it could have been a bit better. That's my personal opinion. Because I didn't like the fact that they pretty much defeated the majority of the enemies in one episode. And I read the manga where it took a little... Not that it took a bit longer, like, it's still bet the enemies with one punch, but they didn't defeat each enemy in one chapter. So, my opinion, if you've got your own opinion about it, leave it down in the comment section below. And I hope to see you all in my next video. See ya. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like or comment in the comment section below. If you want to see more content by me, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It means a lot. I've left links to my previous video, right over here. And I've also left links to my other social media accounts, which is down in the description. Again, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. See ya.